Hi, welcome to this channel. In this video, we are going to build this beautiful website that you see over here. Indeed, this website looks like it was built with React.js, but it was built with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's get into it. So over here is our home page. So you can see we have an image on the left side and the text, some text on the right side, and the text has some animations like changing colors and those things with the buttons. So we are going to do all this in this video. So this is the sidebar, and it is not like the normal navbar that you see on the top there. This one is on the side, so we call it a sidebar. So over here is our name and our image, that is our profile. Then we have some links that we use to navigate, and we have this toggling button we will use to toggle to the dark mode and light mode. So you can see the little transition that happens when you hover on the sidebar list. Okay, so let's click on the home page and see. You see, when we click on the home link, there is some animation, cool animation that happens. The image comes from the bottom while the text comes from the top, and this happens once anytime you click on the home link. So let's navigate to the services. Okay, so you can see these are services that we provide. So they are in these beautiful boxes that when you hover on it, it increases the scale a little bit. So this is our portfolio. It also has the hover effect. So these are the projects that we have done, and we are exhibiting it here. So when you click on it, let's see what happens. It takes you to this page which has the details of the project, that particular project you click on it, and we have this button here. When you click on it, it takes you back to the portfolio page. Okay, so you can see it. You click on it, and these are the details about the project. Okay, we click on the back. Let's see the music app too. So these are also the details of the music app. So let's go back and see the other one. So this one too, these are the details about it, but you can see the other image, it is too long, but we are going to work on it later. So we come to the contact. The contact too has these cool transitions, and also it is very nice here. So let's go back to the home page and check about the toggling mode. So let's click on it and see. Okay, so this is the light mode. You see the light mode in the home page. You click on it back and it turns to dark mode. Let's check the services to light mode, and you can see it still looks good on the light mode, in the light mode. So the portfolio too, yeah, so that's it. So let's go and check the responsiveness of this website. It is very responsive, so let's check that one too. So as the width decreases, you can see there is a menu icon at the right top corner, and the list items have disappeared, and it is left with only the icons. So let's decrease it more and see. Now the image is lying, or the image is standing over the text to make it responsive. So let's continue with it and see. Okay, so you can see how responsive it is. And also in the services, the same thing happens in the portfolio too, and in the contact too. So it is very responsive on mobile devices, tablet devices, and also desktop devices. So let's take it back and see. So it is very responsive, like I said earlier. So now let's check the work of the menu icon. So when you click on it, then the list appears. You click on it again and it disappears. So it works in all the pages. So that is that. So let's go and open our IDE and start creating our folder structure. So we are in our project folder, that is portfolio. So we are going to create a folder for our images. So we name it images. So this is where all our images are going to. And we create another for CSS files. Then we create our home page, that is home.html. So let's press on Shift+1 to get this symbol. Then we press enter to generate this code. So let's go on and create a file for our CSS, that is star.css. So let's create it in the CSS folder. So star.css. So now that we are done with the folder structure, we are going to use some icons in our project. So we are going to get them from Font Awesome. So let's search for the Font Awesome. So download Font Awesome. And this is the first link that appears. So let's click on it and it sends us to the page. Okay, so if your version is showing version 5, you should change it to version 6 or the highest version that appears there. So now we click on the free for web bar file to start downloading, and you can see it is downloading. So it is done downloading. Let's go to our downloads folder and it is here. So let's right click and choose extract here for it to extract in the same folder. Okay, it is done. So you open it, then open the CSS folder. So you copy the all.min and go into our portfolio folder, into our CSS, and paste it alongside the style.css. So we will go back, then go into our Font Awesome folder and copy the web fonts. Then enter our portfolio folder again and paste it. So we are going to continue the process in our code editor. So let's go into our home file and under the title you'll use the link element, then enter our CSS file. So css/style.css. So that means that we have linked our CSS file to our home.html. So let's copy it, paste it, and change the style.css to, so let's get, you can see the all.min.css here. So we are going to link that too, so you get all the icons we want. So all.min.css. So we have linked both the CSS, the style.css, and the icons too. So we are over with it now. So we can now go on and start our project. So we will create a container, and inside the container we are going to put our sidebar and our pages inside for this home page. So you create our sidebar, then come down and create our pages like a section. So you put in our pages, give it a class name of page home. Then in our sidebar you will create a profile. So in this profile we are going to put our image, one image and our name inside, that is Webnight. So h2 tag, we give a class of logo, that's Webnight. Let's open the browser and see what we've got so far. Yes, so we got Webnight. Let's get back to the code. So under the h2 tag, we are going to create image tag. That's where we are going to put our image there. Then we come under it, under the profile, and create UL tag. Give it a class name of sidebar list. Inside it, that's where we are going to get our navbar links. So we create an li tag and give it a class name of sidebar list. So the UL tag is sidebar list with s, and the li tag is sidebar list with no s. So inside the list, we are going to create an a tag. So in our a tag, we are going to create I. So this is where we are going to put our icons, our icon. Then under it, we create a span for our nav link, that is home. So this I, we are going to get the icon from the nav link, from the link we got from Fontavism. So the icon for home is far home. Far home. Okay, let's see. Yes, we got it here. Okay, so let's give it an ID. Give it an ID of sidebar icon. So we are going to copy from the li tag, then duplicate it 3 times. Okay, so we change the names in the span. So over here, we are going to change the home to services. Then change this one to portfolio. Then the last one to contact. Okay, so let's check it. Okay, good, we got it here. So we are going to work on the icon. We are going to change them. So over here, we are going to change it to Fafa briefcase for the services. Then the portfolio, we change it to Fafa pencil square. Then the contact will be Fafa phone. Let's check it. Okay, we got it here. So now we are going to work on the toggle button down here. We are going to create that one. Okay, so inside the sidebar, the top one is profile, and under the profile is the UL tag. So we will create a toggle button under the profile, so be within the sidebar. So give it a container of toggle cont and an empty button of class name toggle btn. Let's check the browser. Okay, it is here. So we are done with the HTML for the home page. So we are going to work on the styling. Asterisk. So every styling we give here will affect all the elements on the page. So margin of 0, padding of 0, and box sizing of border box. Okay, then we come here, container. We are going to start the container. It is containing all of the elements on our page. So container will give the display of flex and the position of relative. So let's check something in the HTML. So in the container, we have 2 main elements, which is the sidebar and the page. So here we are going to give the sidebar a flex of 3. Then we give the page a flex of 9. So what this means is that the sidebar and the page are in the container, and the container has a width of 12. So the sidebar is taking 3 out of the 12, and the page is taking 9 out of the 12. So let me give them background so you will see it well. The sidebar, I'll give the background of red, and the page, I'll give the background color of green. So let's go and check it. Alright, so you've seen that the sidebar has the smallest size and the page has the biggest size, because the sidebar has 3 rem and the page has 9 rem. So I'll delete the background colors and continue with the styling. Okay, I'll give the sidebar background color of RGB 16, 5 and 35, and a box shadow 0.5 rem, 1 rem, RGBA 0.3. Okay, let's check. Okay, so it is working. So I'll give it a display of flex, then align items to the center. Okay, justify content, so I'll give it a space evenly, so the spaces between and around them will be the same. Okay, so I have to put them in a column form, so let's do that. I'll give the flex direction of column. Okay, let's check it. Okay, it is working. Now give them a gap of 2 rem. Let's see, position of sticky. Okay, so I have to give it a height so it will extend to the button. So let's give the height of 100 VH. Okay, it is working. And I gave the position of sticky so that whenever you scroll here in the page, it will not affect the sidebar. The sidebar will still stay at its position. So let me give the top of 0. Okay, so we have our profile image here. You're going to use it in the HTML. So under the Webnyte A2 tag, we are going to insert the image. Let's see it. Okay, so it's so big that it is causing something. So let's go to style it. Use the sidebar dot profile img. So we are targeting the image. You give the width of 3 rem. Let's see. Oh, it is still the same. Let's check. Oh, okay, I did a mistake with the sidebar, so let's correct it. Sidebar and see. Okay, so let's go and work on the profile itself. So sidebar dot profile, let's give it a display of flex and flex direction. We do it column, then we give it a gap of 1 rem and align the items to the center. Let's check. Okay, it is working the same way we expect it. Let's get back to it. Okay, so you are going to work on the H2 tag. So you the sidebar dot profile H2. So we are giving it a color of white. Let's check. Okay, Let's give the letter spacing of 0.1 rem. Let's see. Okay, it is working. So the letter spacing gives gaps between the letters. So let's go and make the width of the image 5 rem. Then we set the border radius to 50% to make the image circle. Then we give it a border of 1 pixel solid and the color of white. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so let's go to the HTML and see something. So we are going to work on the UL. So sidebar lists. So that's the UL. We will give it a display of flex, then direct them to column. That's flex direction column, and align them to the flex start. So give them a gap of 3 rem, and let's check. So it is working perfectly. So we are going to target the li elements and work on them. So sidebar list. Oh, I made a mistake. So sidebar list sidebar. So I'll give it a list style of none. So I'll remove the dots in front of them. Let's check. Oh, it is still there. Let me check. Okay, let me add type to it. Oh, it is still there. Let me check there. Okay. I didn't add the list to the sidebar, so I wasn't targeting the list. So now it is working here. So that's it. So we are going to work on the A tags in the LIs. So let's do sidebar lists sidebar and then A. So let's give them a display of flex. So give them a gap of 1 rem. Then we align items to the center. Let's check. Okay. So we are going to give it font size of 1.1 rem. Then a color of pink. Okay, that is working, but let's work on the underline. So we are going to give it a text decoration of none to remove the underline. Okay, it worked. Okay, so now we are going to work on it. When it is active, it should have a background color with some padding. So let's get to it. And sidebar list. Alright, let's go into our HTML and see something. So we are going to give an active class to the home page because we are now in the home page. So we are going to give it a class of active, then use it to style it. Let's get back to our CSS. So sidebar list active. Then we give it a background color RGB 741674. So let's check it. Let me change this one to 6. Let's check it. Okay. So we'll give it a box shadow. So 0.5 rem, 1 rem, RGBA 000.1. Then we give it some padding, so 0.5 rem, and the border radius of 0.5 rem. Give it a color of white. Let's check it. So it is cool now. But let's give it a padding of 0.3 rem of top and bottom, then 0.6 rem of left and right. So it is now nice. Let's continue. Let's target the A elements inside the sidebar list. So dot sidebar list A, then hover. Okay, so we are going to give some hover effects to the items here, the li items. So when you hover on it, we want the color to change to RGB 216, 171 and 178. Let's give it a transformation of scale. So when you hover on it, it increases the size a little bit, so 1.08. Let's check. Oh, it is not working. Let's check the naming. So okay, I made a mistake. Sidebar, I made a mistake with it. I keep doing this. So let's check. Okay, it is working, but it is so fast. So let's give it a smooth transition. So we go back to the A tag and give it a transition of all .3 seconds ease. So okay, it is now working smoothly. Okay, so now let's go and work on the toggle container. That is the toggle button. So the toggle cont. So this is the toggle cont. It is containing the toggle button. So let's style it. So I give it a width of 3 rem and a height of 1.1 rem. Then I will give it a border of 2 pixels solid and a color of RGB 50, 44, 156. Let's give it a border radius. So I give that 0.7 rem. And I give it a position of relative. Let's check it. Okay, it's looking nice. So we are now going to work on the button inside. So that's the toggle button, toggle btn. So let's work on that. So dot toggle btn, and I will give it a width of 0.9 rem, same as the height, and a border radius of 50%. So it will become circle. Check. Okay, so that is good. So let's give it a position of absolute. Okay, so now it is lying the way we want it, but let's give it a right of 0, so it will become, so you go to the right side, not the left side. Okay, so that is it. It is now at the right side. Cool. So we are done with the toggle button and the sidebar. So let's go to the home page. So in the page or in the home page, we will have two divs, and one will have a class of image and the other will have a class of text. So in the image, I'll have image elements, so that's where we are going to put our image. And in the text, I'll have h3 tag, which will have a text of "Hi, I am Webnyte." Then under it, we have an h1 tag with a text of a full stack developer, a full stack web developer from Ghana. Okay, then under it we will have a p tag, and I'll paste some text inside. So this, "You are welcome, start a little tour by pressing on the button." Then under it we will have our button. So be button to project btn. So we give C projects. Okay, so let's go install it in the CSS, and I will give the page a background color of RGB 24757 or 52. Okay, so we got the color. Okay, we give them a padding of 4 rem and 5%. That is 4 rem from the top and bottom and 5% left and right. Okay, so the page and the image, they are all in one class, but the page will be used to style all the elements that will have page as their class name, and the home will be specific to the home page. So we give the home a display of flex, and we align the items to the center. Okay, so it is working. Let's go and insert the image. So over here we will get the image from our image folder, so images/profile.png. okay, it is here. So let's go and start the image so it will look nice. So .home .image img. Let's give it a width of 15 rem. Okay, so it is okay now, but we will style it well later. So let's give it a justify content. We'll do it space evenly. Okay, so the space between and around them will be the same. Then a gap of 1 rem. Let's go and check. Okay, sorry, the gap is 3 rem rather. So we got home.image. So just like we did for the sidebar in the page, you are going to give this one a flex of 1140 rem. Okay, so .home.text, you will give this one to a flex of 1140 rem, just like we have given the home.image, because they are all in the same div, which is the page. So let's check. Now they are all having the same width. Okay, so I give it a box shadow 0, 3 rem, 3 rem, then 0. Let's check. Oh, okay, it is rather box radius, sorry, border radius. So border radius, oh no, border radius, yeah. So let's check it. Okay, so let's give it a box shadow so it will appear well. So the box shadow will be 0.5 rem, then 1.5 rem, RGBA 0.9. Okay, so it is actually showing nice. Let's work on it more. So the display will be flex, and the flex direction will be column, just like it is. So you align the items to the center and give them a gap of 1 rem. Okay, so it is now looking nice. So you have to give them a padding, some paddings. So get a padding of 1 rem from the top and the bottom, and 2 rem from the left and right. So it's actually nice. So let's work on the text itself. So .home.text h3. So this is the h3. We are going to style it well. So we give it a color of white. Then we'll give it a border bottom of 1 pixel. 1 pixel solid, and a color RGB 35, 37, 106. Okay, so it is there. Okay, let's give it a padding bottom so it will be a little away from the border, and that will be 0.5 rem. So let's go and check it. Okay, so it is working. Let's now target the h1 element. So .home.text h1. That one to give it a color of RGB 145, 18, 145. Okay, then the text align will be at the center. Let's check. Okay, so it is working, and we will give it a width of 15 rem, then a font size of 1.2 rem. So we will decrease the font size a little bit. So let's check it. Okay, so it is working as expected. Let's now give the letters some spaces. So give a letter spacing of 0.1 rem. Let's check. Yes, you can see that there are some spaces between the letters, unlike before. So let's continue, and we are going to work on the p tag. So .home.text p, give it a text align center, then the color of #EEE. So that is it. So now we are going to work on the button. So let's check. So this is the button to project BTN. So to project BTN, we'll give it a background of RGB 145, 18, 145. Then a border of 1 pixel solid RGB 60, 52, 32, 150. Then a color of white. Okay, so let's add some padding to it. Okay, so the padding, the top and bottom will be 0.4 rem, and the left and right will be 1.5 rem. Okay, so that is it. Now let's work on the border radius. So the border radius, okay, we'll give it 0, 50 rem, sorry, 50%, 50%, then 0. Let's check. Okay, that is it. Let's make the cursor a pointer. So cursor, then a pointer. Okay, so here we are going to give it a hover state. So when you hover on it, it will change the color and those things. So the background color will be white. So now let's give some animations to the text like we saw in the finished project. The color is changing. So we give it at keyframes, text changed color. So at 0%, it will change the color to RGB for 145, 18, 145. Then when it reaches 30%, the color will change to RGB 161, 163, 21. Then 60%, the color will change to RGB 19, 30, 132. Then finally 100%, the color will change to RGB 26, 143, and 14. So now let's put it in the text that we want, the animation to take place. So we are putting in the H3. So animation, then the animation name, which is text change color. Then the time that will take for the animation will be 0.3 seconds. Okay, sorry, 3 seconds. Then it will be forwards. So let's check it. Okay, so let's add it to the other text. So we'll copy and paste it in the H1. Okay, so let me change the seconds for the H1 tag. So it will be 6 seconds and the H1 will be 9 seconds. And the animation, we will delay it for 2 seconds before it starts. When the animation starts, we will delay the H1 tag for 2 seconds before that animation starts. So you can see the H3 was changing colors. Then a little while, the H1 started changing colors too. So that is it. Let's do same for the P tag. So let's copy the animation delay and animation to the P tag. Okay, so let's make that one 4 seconds. So it should delay for 4 seconds before. So okay, you can see it is working. So that is it. But it stops at a while. So let me change the forwards to infinite. Let me change the forward to infinite. That's the problem. So it should work now. now it is working. It doesn't stop after just one change. Let's now work on the animation that allows the image and the text to enter. So let's create animation for them. Okay, so at keyframes, then we'll give it the name of text entry. This one is for the text. So at 0%, we'll give it a transform translate y -50 rem. So this is to make at 0% when the animation starts, it should stay out of the page, like go 50 rem beyond the page from the top. So that is it. And at 50%, the transform translate y should reduce to -20 rem, which is to make it come a little bit down. And 100%, the transform translate should be 0, so it will be at the its actual position where it was before the animation started. So let's put it in the animation. Let's put the animation in the image, in the text tag. So be animation, and then we will type the animation name, which is text entry. Then it should go on for 3 seconds forwards. Let's try it. Okay, so you can see this working. Let's see it again. Okay, it is working perfectly. Let's do same on the image. So come and copy it and duplicate it, then change the name to image entry. But here I'll be making it 50 rem. I'll remove the negative, so it will go to the bottom, not the top. So we'll be coming from the bottom, not the top. I'll come here and put the animation, same one here in the image tag. So animation, we type the animation name, which is image entry. Three seconds forwards. So you can see it is working. Let's refresh for it all to start. Okay, that is nice. It is working perfectly. So we are done with the home page now, but this time let's check the responsiveness. So you can see when I reduce the width, it isn't responsive because the image becomes too small. So we are now going to work on the responsiveness. So we will start from tablet, a tablet view. So we are done with the desktop view. We're going to do it for the tablet view. So at media screen, and then maximum width, so max width should be 800 pixel. So this means that all the styling I will give here will only affect those that their width is 800 pixel or before, devices that their width is 800 pixel or below. So let's go on and start the sidebar. So I'll reduce the flex to 2, because previously the sidebar, the flex was 3 at the beginning. I mean, in the desktop view, the sidebar, the flex was 3, but here we are making it 2, so it will reduce a bit. So let's check it. Okay, So now you can see that when we decrease the width a little bit, then the sidebar decreases. The width of the sidebar decreases. Like there's no more padding because we have decreased the flex to 2. So see it again. Look at it again. Okay, so you see that. Let's go on and continue styling it. So sidebar dot profile h2. So we are targeting the h2 in the sidebar, which is this one, the text up of the text at the top of the image. So we are going to hide it. So display none. Okay, so that's it. So when you reduce it to below 800 pixels, the width below 800 pixels, the flex will change to 2. Then this display of the H2 will be none, so it will be hidden. So let's target the H2 profile image. We are going to decrease the width a little bit. We are going to reduce it. So we are reducing it to 3 rem. So you can see that it has reduced now. So we are going to work on the allies. So we target them. So dot sidebar list span. So we are targeting the spans. So the spans are the ones with the home and services portfolio contact. So that's the span. So you are going to hide them. So display of none. So let's check it. So there is nothing there again. So there's no li. Let's center the flex. So align items. We center them. Then put the justify content to at the center. Okay, so dot sidebar list. Then we align the items to the center, so the icons will be at the center. Oh, it is still there. What? Okay, I have to add s. So okay, it is now working. The icons are at the center now, so it is working. So we are now going to put our nav or our menu icons at the top. So we will create a div called nav toggle. Then inside it you have an I and give it a class fastfar bars, which will give us the menu icon. So you can see it at the top left corner. Okay, let's create another icon. So the class will be fastfar times to give us the closing icon. Okay, so we have them both here. So I'll give them an ID of show, and the last one will be having an ID of close. So let's get to the styles and style them. We'll go to the top, and below the container we will start the nav dash toggle. So we'll give it a position of absolute. Okay, so you can see it is not there again. Then we'll give it a top of 2 rem, then right of 0.7 rem. So now we can see them at the top right corner of the page. So we have to start them a little bit, give them some colors and all that. So we're going to give them a color hot pink, and a font size of 1.2 rem. Okay, so it is now visible to us. So let's continue styling them. So we are going to call them the show and the close and display none. So it won't be displaying on the desktop view. So when you are using desktop, you won't see these icons. So when you're on the tablet, we are using a tablet, you are going to display the show. So set the display to inline. and for the close we are going to okay, now you can see it that it is not on the desktop view, but when we reduce the size to a tablet view, you can see it is now there. Okay, so you are going to continue hiding the close button, so we'll display it as none. So we'll go on and create a JavaScript folder where we are going to put our JavaScript files. So here we are going to create a file for the sidebar. So sidebar.js. So this is where we are going to make the nav toggle button, that's the closing and the showing button, to be functioning. So we are going to link it in the home HTML. So in the home file, we are going to link the sidebar.js. So let's start the JS. So let show btn is equal to document.get element by id. So we are going to get the show button, which is at the top here. So this is it, show. So we are going to put that into show btn. So whenever we say show btn, that means we are using this one. So let's close btn equal to document.get element by id. Then we use the close, which is this one. So we have taken the close and the show buttons and put it into these variables. So let sidebar is equal to document dot query selector all. So this query selector all means we are selecting more than one element, because in the sidebar list we have plenty lists, which is the li elements. So we are going to get them all into the sidebar variable. That is why we used query selector all. So now we are going to create a function called toggle btn. And what this function will do is to select loop through all the li elements and select span in each of them. So you say sidebar dot for each. Then we use this parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we are going to put a function inside, and the function will have an item as parameter. Okay, so when it loops through, it should save, or it should select each span and save it into the span variable, that is item.querySelector. So each span that it reaches, each list that it reaches, it should select the span and save it into the span variable. Okay, if span, this means that if it loops through and it gets any span item and save it into the span variable, then this should happen. Span.star.display should be equal to span.star.display equals to flex question mark none and column flex. So what this means is that the span that it gets, it should check if the display is equal to flex, then it should change it to none. But if it is equal to none, it should change it to flex. And you remember that in our stars.css we changed the span star display to none, and here we are using our show btn. So when we are going to add event listener to it, so when you click on it, it should call this function, and in this function we are going to call the toggle btn. So whenever you click on the show btn, it should check for this. It should call this function, which is toggle btn, and when it is called, it should then change the show button stars.display to none. Then displays the close button. So you're going to start the display to inline. So let's save and check if it is working. So we are going to reduce the size to that of a tablet for the show button to show. Okay, so it is here now, and you can see there is no span there. So when we click on it, you can see they have appeared, but when we click on it again, it won't disappear. So let's work on that one. So close btn dot add event listener, click, and in the function we are going to call the toggle button to. So when it is called, after it is called, it should change the show btn display to inline. So that one should be displayed while the close button turns to none. So let's check the browser and see. We click on it and it appears. We click on it and disappears. So it is working as expected. So we are done with the sidebar JS. Okay, so now we are going to work on the toggling button. So let's go to the top and work on the toggling button. Okay, so we are going to give it an off class. So toggle button dot off. So when it is off, it should change the position. That is it should change it from right to left, and the background color should be blue. So when you click on it, it should move from the right side to the left side, and it should change background color from white to blue. So let's now go and work on the sidebar. So the sidebar too, we will give it an off class. So when it is activated, it should change the background color to RGB 118, 106, 106. Let's go to the page too, and when it is off, it should also change its background color to the same color, which is RGB 118, 106, 106. So we are going to create a JS file for it too. So we name it mode.js. We are going to link it in the home.html like we did for the sidebar JS. So let's now get to our mode.js and work on it. So we are going to have a variable called toggle button. So here we are going to do document.querySelector. Then we are going to select the toggle btn. So this is it, the toggle btn. We are going to select it. So we select it, and then we are going to select the sidebar tool and name it sidebar. Document.querySelector .sidebar. You also select the pages, put in the variable called pages. So document.querySelector.page. So this is the page and this is the sidebar. So toggle button dot add event listener. So when you click on it, on the toggle button, it should call this function. So in the function, when it is clicked, you are going to, first of all, let's create a variable called is on and set to true. So we are going to use it in an if. So if is on, which means if it is true, the variable is on. If it is true, then this should happen. The toggle button dot class list dot add, so it should add a class of off to it, to the toggle button, which we set earlier. So this is it. So we should set it to off, then it should have these stars. So let's do same for the sidebar. So sidebar dot class list dot add off. So that should make it use the styling we gave to the off. So it will change the background color to that whitish color. So let's check our browser to see if it is working. Okay, so we click on it, nothing happens. Let's check. Okay, so I use the same name for variable name in the sidebar.js, so that is why it is not working. So let me add s to it. So let's see, click on it, boom. Okay, so it is working. So let me go and comment the sidebar out and check. Let's see for the toggle button zone. So let's see. So we click on it and it moves to the left side, and it changes the background color to blue. So let's now bring it back and continue with the pages. So the pages will add a class of off to it, so it will also get the background color we gave the sidebar. So let's now check the browser and see. So we click on it, and nice one, it is working on the page and the sidebar itself. So now when we click on it again, nothing happens. So we are going to make it change back to, so we will now set the is on to false, so that it will go against the if condition and then moves to the else. So let's go and work on the else. So then the toggle button will change. So the class list will remove the off from the toggle button, so it will have its normal or actual background color. We do same for the sidebars. And same for the pages. Then finally we set the is on to true. So let's check it. Set to light mode, it is working. Back to dark mode, and it is working. So now it is working perfectly. We are done with the home page, everything with the home page. So we are now going to work on the services. So let's go on and create our services.html file. Then we will press Shift+1 and enter. So we'll go to our HTML, home.html, and copy both the links and the title. Then we will paste it in our services file. Okay, so now we have the font awesome and the CSS linked. We'll come here and copy the JavaScript files to and paste them in our services file. Okay, so now we will create a container, a div, and give it a class of container. Then we'll go into our HTML, home.html, and copy the sidebar that we built. Copy from the nav toggle to the sidebar, because it is constant and it's going to appear in all the pages. So we will copy it and paste it in our services.html. So in the container we are going to paste it here. Then we go into our home.html and set the a tags to the links that we want, to the pages we want it to direct to. So home.html to the home. So when we click on it, it sends us to the home.html. And for the services to, so let's go back and click on it. So now we have the sidebar that we pasted in the services file. So let's go and work on it. So this is where the sidebar ends. So under it, you are going to create a section and give it a class of page services. Okay, so we gave it a class of page services so that the stylings that we gave to the page earlier in the CSS will affect this one, like this services container, this services section. So same as the container, we gave this a class name of container so that the styling we gave to the home page will also affect this one. So we're going to create a class or a div with a class of cont, and inside it a div with a class of list. Inside it we are going to have an icon, so we'll use fastfar laptop to give us a laptop icon. Okay, so there it is. Let's get back to the code. Okay, so under the icon we are going to have an h2 element or the text of front-end development. So that's the title of the service we provide, and under it we are going to have a p tag with some text. So I'll paste some text over here. Okay, so let's check our browser and it is showing here. So you can see we have some b tags inside to bolding some of the text, to make some of the text bold. So that is the function of the b tags in the text. And we are going to select the list and duplicate it 3 times. So I'm now going to change the names. So this one I'll change it to backend development, and the next one we'll change it to web design. Then the last one will be game development. So these are the services we provide. So that's the title for them. So that is it. Let's go on and change the icons. So I'll change this one to Fafa code. Then I'll change this one to Fafa paintbrush. Then for the game development it will be Fafa gamepad. Okay, so let's check. Okay, we have them here, so that is right. Let's go on and style them in our CSS. So you're going under, so that's it. So okay, here we are going to comment services. Then this is where our services styling will start from. So dot services, so we are selecting our section dot services dot cont. So we are targeting the container which is hosting all of the lists inside our page. So let's get back to the styling, and I'll put the display to grid. I know I've been using display flex only, so right now I'm going to use grid. So I set the grid template columns to 1FR 1FR. So this is to make sure that on each row we have 2 lists only. So let's get okay, so you can see it, there are 2 lists on each row. Let's see, I'll make it 3 1FR 1FR and see what we get. So you can see there is 3 on the row, and this one remaining will stick at the bottom like that. So let's go and change it back to okay. So I'll give it a gap of 3 rem. Okay, so now I'm going to select our list, so I'm going to target our list. But before that, let me remove the services from it, so the cont will affect all the future div that will make their classes cont. So that is why I removed the services. So let's go and install the list. So I'll give it a box shadow of 0.5 rem, 1 rem, so 1.5 rem, done. RGBA of 0.3. So it is working. Let's continue with the styling. Okay, so I'll give it a display of flex and flex direction to, I'll set it to column. Then I'll give it align the items to the center. Give it a gap of 1 rem. Let's check and see what we've got. Okay, so it is working. It is working well. So I'll give it a padding of 1 rem on all sizes. Then the border radius to 1 rem. So let's check it. Okay, we have a cool styling here. So let's go on and target the text in it. So I'm now targeting the eye, which is the icon. So the icon, we are now targeting it. So I'll give it a color of white smoke. So I'll set the font size to 1.2 rem. Okay, so it's working perfectly. So let's go on and target the H2 element. So that is the titles, the title for all the lists. So let me start them. So I'll give it a color of hash 2F3288. Okay, so it is working. So now I'm going to reduce the font size. So I give it 0.97 rem. Then I give it a border bottom of 1 pixel solid RGBA 147 155 25. Okay, so it is working well. Let's give it some padding bottom. Okay, so I'll give it a padding bottom of 0.4 rem. Okay, so it's working perfectly. Let's now target the P element. So that is where we have our text, like a description of the service that we provide. So I will give it a color of RGB 209270. Okay, so the font size too, I'll give it 0.9 rem. Then I will set the text align to center. So actually we are having it cool. So give the line height 1.5 rem. So we'll give some spaces between each row of the element, each row of the text. So now I'm going to target the bold elements inside the P tags. So I'll target it and give them a color of RGB 42 112. Then the font size, I'll give it, the font weight, I'll make it bold so you can see it now. So everything is working perfectly over here. So let's go on and make it responsive, because it is not that responsive. So let's come down here to the tablets and work on the tablet view. So I'll target the list H2 and decrease the font size. So I'll give the font size of 0.8 rem. So let's check. Okay, so you can see it has reduced a little bit. So let's see the transformation. Okay, so you can see it has decreased, and okay, so you can see we are in the services page, but still the background is on the home page. So we are going to change that. So let's come here and cut the class active from the home page and paste it in the services, because we are now in the services page. So let's cut it and paste it here. So let's save it and check. So now it is at the services page. So you go to the home page and it will be at the home page. We come to the service page and it will be at the service page. So now let me pass in the link, so when you click on it, it will take you to that page. So this one will be services.html. So let's check. We click on home and it takes us to the home page. Okay, I forgot to start this on a mobile device. I forgot to start the home page on a mobile device. So you can see it works well on tablets, but on mobile devices it won't work well. So let's go and start that before I forget. So at media screen, and then the max width, I will give it 700 pixel. Actually this one will be like a mini tablet. So let's target the sidebar and we reduce the padding on the top and the left and right side too. So actually we are going to work on the nav toggle, that's the BTN. So the nav toggle, and we reduce the font size a little bit to 0.9 rem. So let's see. Okay, so you can see it has reduced. So now we are going to work on the image and the text. So let's go up there and check something. So in the home page, in our home, we made the display flex, which makes the direction a default of row. So we are going to change that. So let's target the home and change the flex direction to column. Let's go and check. Okay, so you can see now the image is on the text, so that is how we want it. Let's go on and install it well. So I'll give it a padding of 3 RAM on the top and bottom and 15% on the left and right. So you can see it now, so it is getting better. So let's continue. So let's come and target the H3 in the home text. So I'm going to reduce the font size to 1 rem. Let's check. Okay, so you can see the change in it now. But now you can see the image and the text are not looking so good. So we are going to work on that. So we are targeting the home.text and I'll give it a flex of 120 rem. Okay, so let's go to the top and check something. So up here I gave it 140 rem and same to the image. So I'm going to do same down here. I'm going to target the image and also give that one flex 120 rem. So let's now check our browser and see. Okay, so it's now looking good, but we are going to continue styling it. It's now looking good. So in our text, we are going to give the padding of 0.5 rem top and bottom and 1 rem on the left and right. So a border radius of 0. So we are going to remove the border radius here, so you can see it now. So I'll have to reduce the height of the image now. So I'm going to target the image itself. So .home.image img. So we are targeting the image itself. So we're going to give it a height of 20 rem. Okay, so you can see it's now looking good. Let's go on and install it out. So we are going to target the H1. So up here we are going to target .home.text H1. So I'll reduce the font size to 0.9 rem. Okay, so it's now looking good. Let's continue. Let's go to the top and see something. So here you can see I gave the H1 a width of 15 rem. So we are going to reduce it on a mini tablet device. So here I'm going to give it a width of 10 rem. So let's check it now. You can see it is working. So yeah. So let's now work on the services page. So I'll target the count on the grid template column. I'll reduce it from 1FR to only 1. So let's check. Okay, so that's it. Okay, but it is too large here, so we are going to give it a max width. We are going to target the list and give it a max width. So that's 20 rem. So let's now check. Okay, so it's looking good, but we have to place it at the center. So you're going to use the grid to place it at the center. Okay, so now we are done with the mini tablet view. So we are going to do it for mobile view. So this one I will give it a max width of 450 pixel. and I will target the home dot image and give the flex rem of 1:115. You can see that in the mini tablet I gave them flex of 1:120, so we have reduced it here. So let's now check our browser and reduce the width to a mobile device zone. Okay, so it's responsive. Okay, so I have to reduce the height of the image. The image is too long, so I'm going to reduce the height. So I'm targeting the image itself, and I will reduce the height to 15 rem. Okay, it looks good now. Okay, so now then we get to the mobile device. Okay, so it is working well. We're now going to target the text box. So let's get to our code. Now reduce the padding on the top and bottom to 0.5 and the left and right to 1. So it's looking good. Let's go on and continue styling. So I'm going to target the button. That's the to project button. We are going to reduce the padding on it. So that's 2.3 rem and 0.2 rem and 0.8 rem. Then reduce the font size to 0.7 rem. So let's check. Okay, so it's now small. Okay, so let's target our H1 tag because it's way too big for a mobile device. So we are going to target it, the H1, and reduce the font size to 0.7 rem. Let's check our browser. Okay, I want to increase it a little bit. Okay, now it looks good. Let's go on and check our services page too. So there too is very responsive because of the grid we used earlier. Okay, so it looks good. Yeah, that is good. So right now the mobile device is also responsive on mobile devices, both the home page and the service page. So that is it. We are going to move on to our projects page. We are going to work on that projects page. So I'll create a portfolio.html. Okay, but before I work on that, let me go to the services and then put that in an A tag. So when you click on it, it will send you to the portfolio page. So I'm going to insert it here. Portfolio.html goes to the home page too, and do same for it. So I'll go to the top there and copy the two links. That's the CSS and all.min plus the title. Then press this to generate this code and paste it here. Okay, so then I'll go to the services and copy the JavaScript links down there and paste it in the portfolio. Okay, so I'll create a container or a div, give it a class of container, and inside it I'm going to copy the from the nav toggle in the services to the sidebar. Yeah, then So I paste it in the portfolio inside the container. Okay, so under it I will create a section and give the class of page portfolio. So let's check the browser and see what we got so far. So I'll click on the portfolio. Okay, and it's still showing on the background is still showing the services. So I have to cut the class active from the services. Okay, so here I'll cut it. Then I'll come to the portfolio and paste it here. Okay, let's see. Oh, it is not there. Let's check the code again. Okay, I pasted it in the li tag instead of the a tag, so I'll cut it and paste it in the a tag. So let's check. Okay, now it is working. It is working. So let's go and create the page for it. So inside the section, I'll create a div and give it a class of cont, and inside it another div with a class of list, just like we did for the services page. h2 tag, and under it an image. Under it will be a p tag. Give random text, that's from Lorem. So I'll put the project title in the h2 tag. That's music app, and insert the image for the project. So let's check our browser. Okay, so the image is too big. Let's go and install that. So I'll go to my style.css and work on the image. So I'll target the image, that's the list image, and give it a width of 100%. So that means we'll take the size of it, complete size of its mother, which is up here.cont. We gave it 1fr, so we'll take the complete width of its mother. So that is it. Let's go and duplicate it 2 more times. Okay, so the second one I will change it. I will change the name and the image, so be project 2, and the name for that project will be restaurant app. So the last one, the name will be front end app, and the project image will be project 3. So let's save and check. Okay, so now everything is working well. You can actually see that it's already started because we use the same class name we use for the services. That is why it has been already started. And I want to give a hover effect to the list so that when you hover on it, it will increase in both the width and the height. 1.1, that is scale. So let's give it a transition so that will be having a smooth this transformation. So I'll target the list and give the transition, so all dot 6 seconds ease. So let's check it, and it is working perfectly. So that is it. It is working perfectly. Actually, let's go back and check its responsiveness. So let's decrease the size. Okay, so it is very responsive. You can see it. It is very responsive. Like I said earlier, it has taken a style from the services because we use the same classes for them, class name for them. Okay, so it's pretty cool. Let's go on. So over here I have to put each list in an A tag, so when you click on that list it will take you to that specific project. So I'm cutting it and put it in an A tag, so I put it there. Do same for the restaurant tab and also the music app. Okay, because they are in an A tag, it has gotten underlined, so we are going to remove that. So we target the A, so dot portfolio A. Then we set the text decoration to none. Okay, so it is working. It is working. So now let's go and work on the links. When you click on it, it should send you to the music.html, which we are yet to create or to work on. So this one should take you to restaurant.html when you click on it, and same for the front end. So you're going to now create the files for those restaurant.html, music.html, and frontend.html. Okay, so let's create a file for the music.html. So music.html. So when you click on this, that is the music app. You click on it, it's supposed to bring you to the music.html page. So we press Shift+1 to get these codes. And we come here and copy the links plus the title and paste it inside the music.html. We come here and create a container. So over here we are not going to need the sidebar, so we create the page and an A tag. So inside it you are going to put an icon which will take us back to the portfolio page. So it is far arrow left. So let's open our browser and check. Actually, let me open it in the portfolio.html, so we check the link. Okay, so we click on it and it brings us to this page. So you could see that the link that we put in the portfolio.html is working. So let's give this icon an ID of back arrow. So under this we are going to have a count that our list will be inside, and our image2 plus our title. So we have the h2, we give a title which is the home page of that specific project, and an image. Then under it will be a p tag specifying or describing that specific page of the project. So let's put or insert our image. So project 1.1 pg. Okay, so let's check our browser. Okay, so it is here. Let's go on and insert. Let's duplicate this twice. Okay, so we have 3 of it. So let's change this image. Okay, so that is it. Nice one. Let's change the title for that image. So this will be the contact page, and here will be a search page. So let's give it another image. Okay, that is it. So it is working. That's pretty cool. So let's now work on the back button. Okay, so our target, okay, so this is the project. So back arrow, that's the back button. Let's style it a bit. Give it a color blue. Oh, color blue. And increase the font size a bit. Oh, it's not working. Let's check it again. Okay, it is back arrow. So let's check again. Okay, it is still not working. Okay. So the arrow, I gave it double R, triple R. Okay, so it is now working. It's now working. So I want to now give it a margin bottom, so it will be separate from the images there, like so. A margin bottom of 2 rem. Okay, so it is nice. So let's now put the link in, so it will take us back to the portfolio page. So in the A tag, you're going to put portfolio.html. So when we click on it, it will take us to the portfolio page. Okay, so it is now working well. It is working perfectly. So let's see it again. Yeah, so that's it. Let's check the responsiveness, and it is also responsive. It is also responsive. Okay, very responsive. Go back and everything is cool. So let's now work on the other ones. Yeah, so I'll create a file for the restaurant app, which will be restaurant.html, and inside there I'm going to copy everything from the music.html because it is similar. So I will just be changing the images and the so the images only. This one will be project 2. Okay, let's click on it, and so the other contact and the search page are differentiating. Okay, I'll change this to project 2.2 and just don't have that image, so let's just keep the project 2 here. Click on it. So it is working perfectly, except that I've duplicated this image because I've lost that image in my file. So it is cool. It's cool. So now let's go on and create a file for the front-end app. So frontend.html. Okay, I made a mistake in the spelling. So frontend. Okay, cool. So I'll go ahead and copy everything from the restaurant file and paste it in the front. So I'll now be changing the images. So this one will be project 3, here will be 3.1, and the last one will be 3.2. so let's check it. Okay, so let's go back and click on the third project. Okay, so remember I said I'll work on this one. It's so long, so I'll work on it. I'm going to style it. So I'll go into the styles.css and go to the top. I'm looking for image imgs. Okay, so I'm going to give it a height of maximum height of, it should be 20 rem, right? 20 rem. So let's check. It's still long. Let's decrease it, so make it 15 rem. Okay, it's still some way. Let's make it 10. Okay, so it's cool now. Let's take it like this. Let's go back and okay, so everything is working. The home page, the services, and also the portfolio, and they are all responsive on desktop devices, mobile devices, and tablet devices. So let's work on the contact page. So contact.html, let's create a file for that. So I'll then copy the links plus the title from the portfolio and paste it in a contact page. So I'll paste it here and I'll create a container. Let's go to the portfolio page and copy from the nav toggle to the sidebar. So it ends here. Let's copy from here. Okay, copy and paste it in our container here. So let's go to our portfolio page and insert our link for the contacts page. So in the H tag, we are going to put in the href in the H tag, we are going to put the contact.html and do same in the home.html page. So I'll do same here. Now then go to the services and do same over there. Okay, so that's it. Let's go. And now when you click on it, okay, so you've seen the sidebar here. You have to change the background. So we are going to cut the class active from the portfolio and paste it in the contact. Okay, in the A tag of the contact. Okay, so now it is working. Let's go and create a section. So I'll give the section a class name of page contact. And inside it, I'll create a div with a class name of form and also a form tag inside it. And in the form tag, I'll create a div. So a label and the text inside will be name. Then we'll have an input below it and give it a placeholder of type your name. Then I'll have to duplicate it 2 times. So I'm going to change it to email and change the placeholder to type your email. Okay, the type to email and placeholder to type your email. And lastly, this will be message. The placeholder will be type your message. So this is what we have now. Okay, so I'll create a button inside the form. I'll have a text of send. Okay, so it's there. Let's go on, and under the form div, we are going to create a class called social media, and that will be in a div. So inside it, we are going to have an h2 tag that will say follow me on, then a colon, and under it, we are going to have a div with a class of link img. So inside it, I'll create an A tag, and inside it will be an image. So I'll copy it and duplicate it 2 more times. Let's check it. Okay, so I'll insert the images. So let's check. Okay, it is not there. What's wrong? Let's go back. Okay, I have to remove the slash in front of them. Let's go back and check. Okay, it's still not there. What's wrong? And my images are here, so what's wrong with this? Let's check the browser again, because I don't understand why this should not work. Oh, okay, so the image is so large, that is why this is happening. So let me comment it out, the image is out, and when I'm done styling it, I will come and uncomment it. So let's go on and to our styles.css and style the content. So dot contact, then I will give it a display of flex, and flex direction will be column. Then I'll give it a gap of 3 rem and align the items to the center. Let's check. Okay, so that is it. Let's go on. So I will then target the form, the div with the class form, to target the form, the actual form. So dot contact dot form and form. Then I will give it a display of flex. Then the flex direction will be column. And I will align items to the center. Okay, so I have to give some more styling to it. So I'll give it a gap of 2 rem. Let's check it. Okay, it's working. It is working. Let's go on and give it a border of 2 pixel solid and color of blue. Then I'll give them a padding of 5 rem from the top and bottom and 3 rem from the left and right. So that is it. Let me give it border radius. So border radius. So the border radius will be 2 rem. Let's check. And it is looking nice. Let's continue with the style. So I'll target the divs inside the form. So dot contact dot form div. So actually these are the divs that I'm targeting right now. So let's get back to it. I'll give it a display of flex, and I'll align the items. Let's check before. Okay, so that's it. Let's go on. Flex end. Okay, so I'll give it a gap of 0.5 rem. Okay, cool. So we are targeting the label now. So these are the labels we are targeting. I'll give them a width of 5 rem and color white. So let's check what we got. Okay, so let me copy this one and come down here. So I'll delete the label and make it input. So let's edit the input. I'll give it a border of 0, so there will be no border, you can see. And now the padding to will be 0.3 rem on the top, 1 rem from the right, 0.3 rem from the bottom, and 0 from the left. So the color, right, okay, I'll give it a width of 16 rem. Background color of transparent, so you can see there is no border and no background. So let's get on. I'll give the color white and there will be no outline. So that is it, no outline. Let's get on it. The border, I'll give it a border bottom, so it will be 1 pixel solid and a hash. Okay, let me make it white. Okay, so you can see, okay, everything is nice here. Let's work on the button. So I'm targeting the button now, so .contact, .form, then button. So I'll give it a background color transparent. Okay, you can see it, and there will be color of white. I'll give it some padding. Okay, so that is it. Let's work on the border radius. So the border radius will be 0.5 rem. Okay, so that's cool. Let's go on. Okay, so you are going to make a hover effect. So when it is hovered, I want to change the background color to white and the color to #2f3288. So let's check. And it's now working. Let's make it have a cool transition. So we transition all .3 seconds ease. Okay, so it is working smoothly. That's cool. So let's now work on the text over here. So let's target it. So social media 2. Then the color will be white. So it is working. The font size will be 1.1 rem and a border bottom of 1 pixel solid #EE. So it is working. Let's give it a margin bottom. That should be 1 rem. So now we will uncomment the images. Okay, they are still big, so we have to style it again. So here I will target the image. So link image img. So I'll give it a width of 1.5 rem. Each of them will be 1.5 rem. Okay, let me increase it by 1, so it'll be 2.5 rem. Okay, so it's looking good now, but I have to align them to the center, so let's work on that. So the link img, then text align to the center. Okay, so now it's at the center, so now it's cool. It's cool now. I now have to work on the responsiveness. It is cool for now, but when it's on tablet devices, we'll make a mess, so we have to work on that. Like you can see, it is now looking ugly, so let's go and work on that. So on the mini tablets, we are going to no. So the form will have a padding of 0.4 rem from top and bottom. Okay, so 4 rem rather from top and bottom, and 1.5 on left and right. So you can see it has decreased now. Let's go on. So I'm now targeting the label. We're targeting the label and work on that. So for the label, I will decrease the font size a little bit, so it will now be 0.8 rem. Okay, 9 rem rather, 0.9 rem. Okay, so you have seen the transformation. Okay. So now we'll be targeting the div. Okay, the input rather. So initially the input was 16 rem, so we have now reduced it to 12 rem. Okay, I refuse to bring the dot, so now you can see it. Okay, it's cool now. So now we have spaces around it. So we are now going to work on the button. So we are going to reduce the pattern and the font size. So it'll be 0.3 rem, 0.7 rem. Okay, so it's cool. Maybe we should ignore the font size and work on the h2 element, which is dot contact. Okay, the social media h2. Then the font size, we will reduce it to 1 rem. Let's check, and it's cool now. Okay, that's cool. Let's work on the images. Target the image through the link img container, and we give the images a width of 1.8 rem. Let's check. It's cool now. So let's continue to see its responsiveness. And okay. Well, we didn't insert the JavaScript links in the contact page, so the functionality is not working. So let's copy and paste it here. And okay, now it's working. Okay. So let's now go and work on the mobile devices. So over here we are going to target the form, the actual form, and reduce the rem. Let's check. Okay, we still need to do more. So we target the input, the label, and we are going to reduce the width to 4 rem. It was 5 rem initially, and the font size too, we are going to reduce it to 0.7 rem. Okay. So we are targeting the input. We are going to give it a width of 9 rem. Let's check. What? Okay. So it is now working. Okay, that is cool. So let's reduce the font size. We should make it 0.7 rem, and now it is cool. So let's work on the bottom because it's now bigger than it should be. So we are targeting the button. So we are going to work on the padding. We are going to give it 0.2 rem, 0.5 rem. Okay, so it is now cool, but let's reduce the font size to maybe 0.7 rem. So let's now go and target the H2 element. So we reduce the font size to 0.8 rem, and it is okay. We will have to reduce the padding from the sidebar. So let's go to the top and check. Okay, there's actually no padding here. Let's give the padding. So we are going to reduce the padding 0. So let's check, and it's actually working. It's working here. So let's check. Oh, doesn't look good here. So that is on the 700 pixel. Let's go back there and check. Okay, so we are going to make it 0 and check something. Okay, but when you click on it and the text appear, there's no pattern around it, so maybe we should work on that. Let's target the list, which is the li. Okay, so I will reduce the font size to 1 rem. Okay, but it's still the same. Let's try other alternatives. So this one I gave it 0.7 rem, so on the left and right. Okay, so now we have some patterns, but still the contact page is not looking nice. Okay, so let's target the eye with a font size of 0.7 rem, and it's still the same. Let's work on the label tag. So where is it? Here is it. So let's reduce it a bit, give it 8.8 rem, but still it is not working smoothly. Okay, so for the div, let's give it 0.1 rem gap. It's not working, so let's delete that. Actually, I don't know what's happening. Let's try this one too. So 10 rem, okay. So now it doesn't disappear, or it doesn't go beyond the page, so that is cool for now. Yeah. So it is responsive now. Everything is nice and cool. Okay, so it's cool now. So everything is okay now. Yeah. But let's reduce the width of that profile image in the side on the sidebar. So let's target it here. Okay, so it is now good and everything is now perfect now. So that is it. It's responsive, the home page, everything. Let's refresh and okay. So that's this is our home page. Everything is nice here. Our services too. There's hover effects. Our portfolio too is okay. And when you click on it, where it sends you to. So everything is basically finished. We are done with the whole project. This is the contact page, and it's also nice. Everything looks nice here. The toggling mode also works nice. So that is it. We are done with the whole project.